So throughout this unit, we're going to focus on a couple of different items. Throughout Unit 6, we'll look at how we can actually import fonts and write text onto our screen. We'll then look at how we can actually detect when a button is being pressed versus when a button is being held. And then we'll also look at sound. So that's kind of what we're looking at throughout this unit. This first lesson in particular focuses on just adding font into a game and then being able to write a message onto the screen. So that's what we'll be doing together today. So first, to start, what I would like you to do is I would like you to open up a new monogame game in Visual Studio. So you'll see up here that I named this one Unit 6, Lesson 1, Import Font. I would like you to pause the video and then to do the same. And then from there, we'll pick up and we'll add in our first font. All right, so hopefully you have that loaded onto your screen. You have the project ready to go. You haven't added anything in yet. And then what I need you to do is I need you to go into the Applications window. And under Computer Science, you will see something that says Monogames. So you'll see something that says Monogames, and I need you to actually click on that. So if you click on it, what you'll notice here is mine is currently blank. Yours may look slightly different, but what we need to do with this pipeline is we need to actually connect the monogame pipeline to our game. So this is actually where we create and build fonts, and we'll do it in the pipeline, and then we'll bring that into our game. So if you click on File, Open, not New, but Open, you'll then need to find your current program. So hopefully you named it well. So here, if you click on your name, so you'll click on your name over here on the side, click on Visual Studio 2015, click on Projects. Now I have an overwhelming number of projects, so what I like to do is click on Date Modified, and the one I'm currently working on will then shoot towards the top. Maybe not at the top, but towards the top. Then from here, if you click Open, and it'll take you inside, go inside the content, and then you'll find something that says content.mgcb, and this is the monogame pipeline. So I need you to click on that, click Open, and what it will do is it will change what you currently see inside of your pipeline. So now it is connected to your game. And every time you do this, you need to check and make sure it is connected to your game. Now, what you can do is hover over this little location area, and you'll see that it shows you the path that it is connected to, and it's connected to Visual Studio 2015, Projects, My Game, and the Content folder. Now, from here, we actually need to build a font so we can bring it into our game. So if you right-click and do Add New Item, because we're actually creating a new item this time, this little window will pop up. And if you click on Sprite Font Description, a Sprite font is a font that you will create inside of your program. So then from here, we need to name it. What I tend to do is name them the exact same as the font I'm intending to use. So here, maybe I'll use, I don't know, maybe we'll use Arial. You can use whatever font you want. For right now, I'm just going to use Arial. There are tons of them. You could use Chiller. You could use anything else. I'm just going to stick with Arial, and then I'll give you the opportunity to explore some of those more challenging fonts later on. So I click OK. There you can see I've now added it into my program. Now from here, sometimes it's ready to go, and sometimes what I suggest is if you right click here, you'll get this option to rebuild. What I do automatically is I will rebuild it and then click yes, and make sure that it works and builds successfully in my program. That way I know that it is ready to go. It has been built. There weren't any errors as I built that font, everything like that. So from here, you are now ready to bring that font into your program. So if you minimize your window, you come over here. If you right click on Content and do Add Existing Item, and you go into your folder, you go into the Content section, and you click on All Files here, you'll notice that that Sprite font has now been added into your Content folder. That's why we built it purposefully where we did. So from here, if I click Add, it will now be added over here into my Content window, and it will be something that I can actually alter and change. So now from here, you've added that into your program, and it should now appear. So the next thing that we can do is we can actually double click on Arial, and it will bring up this separate file. And what this separate file does is it actually kind of breaks down the descriptions of this font. Now, by default, the font name is set to Arial. What you will need to do every time you create a font is you will need to actually type this in. So it would be something like Times New Roman. That would be your font name. Or if you used Chiller, it could be Chiller. Or if you wanted Comic Sans MS, you could do Comic Sans MS, whatever it might be. But note that I'm typing it exactly as it would appear in Microsoft Word. If you kind of drop down that menu, what you would see. So from here, make sure that you name this exactly the font you want. You will need to change it unless you are using Arial like I am. So here, if I do Arial, that is my exact font. So you need that to be the exact font that you want to use in your game. Then from here, you can also choose the font. So I can make the font bigger to something like, I don't know, 38. That's your size. Then from here, this spacing, what this does is this is the number of pixels and between the characters. So right now it doesn't have any spacing. What you could do is maybe put 5 pixels between and it will change the spacing of your words or of your letters. Then from here, kerning is something that automatically kind of places your characters together. You really don't want to futz with this too much. It's what makes it look nice. So I tend to leave that on. Then from here, you can change the style and you could put multiples in here separated by commas if you wanted. And then this chunk down here talks about the ASCII code values that you're using. You do not want to change this. These are all of the characters that we are able to use in our program. So from here, if I save, I've now updated and changed the font that I want to use in my program. So I'm going to pause this video here to make sure I have enough time in the second video. But at this point, what you should have is you should have the Arial font built out of the MonoGame pipeline. You should know how to access the pipeline and to build a new font. And from there, you should also know how to bring it into your program and then how to change the details of that font just by double clicking on it and then looking and changing its details. So you should be able to do that at this point. Watch the next video and I will show you how to actually get those fonts writing onto your screen.